But in Dota, some things are counterintuitive. Those kills are worth nothing, and you want to be playing for your own item timings, and you want to be playing around the ancients. Don't get baited by stuff like this. Back to our Antimage friend. He bought himself another set of tangos here. And... I remember. Lost a ton of CS under this tower. And he's getting kind of traded, so he had to use his blink defensively again. He's still not really burning that much mana from the enemies. And now he's playing here even though he didn't have the blink straight away. Oh yeah, so he's playing in aggressively, he gets silenced and he sadly dies. I think again here we can see the result of not having the stats, not having traded properly, and just not getting a advantage in terms of level or last hits. As we can see, the last hits, they look like this. It's rather tough for Antimage. So he TPs back to the top lane and immediately tries to play aggressive and gets the kill on Puck actually, and uses his potential here to really burn down the Primal Beast. I think this is what he should have been doing way earlier, but again we can see that he doesn't have any heal. He instead chooses to buy his item, his neutral item, immediately from his own secret shop, which is not exactly the play. I think if you just go to power trades here, you have the stats, you have some extra regeneration that's come with it, and you're actually a threat to the enemies. And you don't constantly have to blink away. We also see that he's maxing his blink here, which is an interesting choice because it really cripples your ability to be part of this laning stage. And having a good laning stage is really important as an Antimage player. He's getting the last hit. We realize again that he's very low, but he's lingering around, looking for action that shouldn't really happen here. And let's see, do we finally get his item here? But then he's gonna realize that he's not really able to jungle with it, and he's not really able to lane with it as well. So he's in a really, I don't know, difficult position where he put himself in, where it's like not obvious what you do. I understand the goal of having the Battle Fury as early as possible and being able to recover in the jungle, quote unquote, but if you don't invest anything into your laning stage, then you're gonna really struggle in the game, I think, later on. He's making aggressive play here, but again, he doesn't have the skill build for it, and he doesn't have the items for it either. He's back at the laning stage because there's nothing else he can do. Like, we're 10 minutes in and he doesn't have the opportunity to even leave the lane, which it's really a tragedy because they're gonna hit level 6, and of course you can say Antimage is level 6 here as well, but his ulti doesn't do nearly as much as their ultis. They can lock him down, they can silence him, they can kill him here instantly if they just play it right. And yeah, they have the hand over him basically. So he has to blink out defensively again, and they are going to try to make a move on him. A Patch is rotating. He doesn't dodge the hook. He almost broke the Puck as well, the Puck ulti, and suddenly he's forcing attention towards his top lane as well, but not because he has the strength to do it in the aggression play, as we saw in the Immortal player, but it's actually because he's so weak that the enemies just want to have a part of it and destroy his game even further. Now he's looking at other lanes. Makes sense, but he still decides to go towards the top side. We see him doubling down on his Battle Fury build, and now he's realizing he cannot really hold the tower, and TPing back here to this lane is a really difficult decision, because as you can see, they have the opportunity to run at him every single time they want. I think the better play would have been to be at the bottom part of the map. We see that the Patch just rotated towards the top side, and we see that Phantom Assassin was lingering around at the mid place. So we want to be sitting at the bottom area and try to get out whatever we can out of this laning stage and finally finish our Battle Fury rush to then AFK jungle for the next 15 minutes until we have a couple of items. But as you can see, even the optimal game strat doesn't seem to be that great of a perspective for this game. There's a fight happening and he looks to join the fight, which is really interesting just from the mentality, because the only reason why he's top here again is to finish his Battle Fury as fast as he can, and then he is wanting to jungle as much as he can to recover, get a couple of items and a power spike, but he was strafing towards the enemy area instead of pushing this as aggressive as he can, taking every single range creep out of the wave and just playing it safe. Now again, he's stuck in a very, very weird position. And yeah, this just feels very, very wrong. The teammates get baited into this. It barely works on the Phoenix act. This could have been a disaster if it didn't work out. And finally, he's at the bottom side. Issue here is, now the game looks a little bit different. Even though he's getting himself a nice ward, this Primal Beast and Puck, they're going to respawn. And if I'm a Primal Beast, yeah, exactly, I'm TPing bottom again to get this Antimage, and he is dead again. So the same moves to rotate to the bottom side, you can't just set them like as a basic for every single time you do something. You have to think about why you want to be there at this area, and you want to think about the things that kill you. And the things that kill you are primarily Puck and Primal Beast. And if they are both dead as well, and you show them the information, they have the ability to TP to you and mess up your game. A Punch Blink Dagger reveal kind of sucks for you, honestly, because it's tough that he has it already and that he's playing it and using it against you. But you wouldn't die from a Punch Blink Dagger solo. So as long as you keep track of the enemies that really threaten you, I think you should be fine here. And now, of course, okay, he just disconnected. Might be grief, might not be grief. Hard to tell at this point of the game. It definitely feels difficult from the Antimage perspective, even though looking at the score, we are 18-13, so there's still everything in the game. Now we're looking at Antimage, he's choosing to go bottom again, even though we don't have any information on the map, right? Maybe I skipped it forward too fast, but Punch is bottom, Primal Beast is bottom, he has to blink away, and look at this kind of movement. He is moving towards the enemies again, even though he just blinked away defensively. He doesn't want to play here. I highly doubt that he's getting anything out of it. This is so risky. Being engaged here and trying to get some random kills is a really, really, really difficult move. There could be a PA snacking him, he doesn't see PA mid lane probably, but it's just so time consuming and difficult, because now even though you were engaged in a couple of kills and you get a Primal Beast, which is huge of course, you're half HP and you barely have any mana anymore, so you're not close in terms of your last hits, your net worth didn't increase as much as you want to, and your farming pattern has been destructed, and again you're further away from that sweet battle fury that you really, really need to get the couple items here. You need the power threads and the Manta style and maybe Basher even, or Skadi afterwards, to really have an impact here in this game. And the more we delay this, the more difficult this game will become. And here again, look at the movement. He's looking to play mid lane. This is just like, I'm not sure why he's here. Does he want to get the lane? Doesn't he see that it's contested? Doesn't he see that the Primal Beast just died and respawned again? He hears it, he has to blink away, but again he's staying here. Meanwhile, he's completely ignoring the top area. He could be sitting here farming all game. You farm, then you farm towards back. And then once they react and once they TP to you on top, you just TP bottom. Or you even use the twin gates and then they try to TP bottom and then you kind of throw them around all over the map. The map is just huge. Abuse it, you have a blink, you're the mobile dude. Don't get stuck into a tower. Like, being in this small area here and here really hurts your game as an Antimage. Basically, if you want to get net worth, do not stick around with your team. He's engaged in a fight here again, which is just pure luck in my opinion that it works. And he barely gets alive out, and it's just difficult to watch. He got his Battle Fury now, so maybe he's like, alright, I got the Battle Fury now, we're gonna switch it up a little bit, and we're gonna change our perspective, because now I can farm jungle decently fast. So let's see what happens. I would take this camp as well. I would be playing towards the top area. Nice, and I would be taking this camp, and then I would push the next wave in front of Invoker. Okay, doesn't want to do it. And he engages with a Punch here again. This is insanity to me. So the reason I'm saying that I would be taking the wave here in front of the Invoker is exactly that you have a Invoker behind of you. If we don't see the enemies, you have to have somebody that's playing with you. But then in this scenario, the Punch would have gone on the Antimage, Invoker would have cancelled the Punch, and both of you guys would have went out alive. Now we see that the Invoker is dying and Patch is top, which is great. He just used his stuff. So I would be taking this camp, this camp, this camp towards the top side. Then you can take the Twin Gate and play it on the bottom side here. Just do the same thing. But he's deciding to go into it again. He just wants to fight. I can highly recommend to this player to play heroes like Bounty Hunter or any heroes that constantly want to be involved in fights and don't want to hit the sweet jungle creeps. So he died. He's thinking, okay, where do we go again? He sees the primal bottom, and now we see the Patch mid lane. Alright. So we're playing towards the top area. Decent move. He has been buying some wards and sentries, which I like for carry players. Ooh, that's a rough one. Patch didn't blink in. Ah, here the Invis rune. That is a rough one indeed. Yeah, now the game just becomes more difficult, right? But hey, at this point, this death doesn't matter that much more. But he's TPing in exactly the same area for no reason whatsoever. I would have TP'd towards bottom side now, since we saw them in the mid. Holy smokes. Actually, this trade was worth it from that perspective. Like, I'm kind of giving up on his item choice here anyways. And at this point of the game, his item timing maybe doesn't even matter that much. If he just baits the enemy. He decides to walk mid lane again. This exact same place. He really likes that camp, huh? He's moving towards the top, but we saw a couple heroes top, right? We saw, I think it was the PA, and now we see the Patch. And again, look at this positioning. What does he want to do? Move! Move! Take this mid lane and the Ancients and bottom side, create pressure, then split push back on this side and... Alright, let's give it a couple more minutes. And then we pretty much have the early game done here, and we're gonna switch back to the Immortal gameplay. Notice, to my surprise, that those teamfights actually work, which just shows you the absurdity of those kind of games. But the problem with this is that now he has the feedback that engaging in those kind of fights is a positive thing to do. Like, I just got kills out of this, ergo this is a good move. But in Dota, some things are counterintuitive. Those kills are worth nothing, and you want to be playing for your own item timings, and you want to be playing around the Ancients. Don't get baited by stuff like this. And we are back watching Excalibur playing his Antimage here. We see he's in the laning stage, they just went for a kill, and now he's back looking to get as many last hits as he can. The whole identity of Antimage is really centered around the laning stage and then the items that you can get from the farm that you take over the whole game. So you want to get there as soon as you can, you want to have a super sweet laning stage and reduce the amounts of deaths that you have, and then you want to get your items as quickly as you can. He's playing against Bristleback, and there's some action happening bottom. Queen is TPing, PA is showing, a lot of things are happening, but he's not reacting to it at all. We just want to keep Bristol low on mana, and then we're gonna keep CSing. As you can see from the item build, he's very stats heavy, so he built for success here. Unless Bristleback refills his complete mana, there's not really any potential for him to go that on the Antimage to go on them. Now a Primal Beast is rotating, and he's just walking back. He used his blink already, casts out an ulti just to be safe, chills a bit, and even gets a kill. Beautiful. Beautiful. Only works with those kind of items. Only works if you have power threats, if you have some stats, if you have a stick. That's what you need. Back to last hitting. And I think I'm just gonna fast forward here a little bit, because there's not really anything exciting happening. At least there shouldn't be. Okay, and there's some action here. He sees a press low, and he goes for him, gets a double kill with that ultimate. So he saw his mana was incredibly low from taking the Ancients, and he jumps in, he takes the opportunity, just gets a double kill and cleans up the Ancients as well. Whew, of course, my friends, this is the best out of every possible scenario that you can get here. Well, realistically speaking, you could still get the Rampage, but I mean, that's just great, that's amazing. Some action happened here with the Primal Beast, let's see if he joins that. He does indeed. And he should be going back out here again. There's no point in fighting the Bristle, in my opinion. And that's what we see. He doesn't do it. He's just pushing out the wave again. But he's but but his map awareness is just crazy, right? So he's constantly checking and watching while he's taking camps like this, for example, what's happening on the lane. He's checking the items of the enemy heroes. He's just seeing what's going on. And now we have a Battle Fury timing 11 minutes into the game, which is absolutely crazy, of course. And now we see a slight switch, I would expect, where he is taking camps in between the wave as well. Ooh, there's even a stack here. Beautiful. Now it's just blinking back and forth. This is exactly what you want to have it look like as an anti-mage. Look at the timing. He even managed to stack. Beautiful. And back towards the lane. See some action mid lane. I actually want to see if his camera even strives there. It doesn't. He's not bothered. Not bothered at all. Only bothered about the primal. We don't want to fight against this guy. But we're here for last hits. And this works a ton of the times. You can still defend the tower even if you don't necessarily want to move for a kill here. Now he knows the primal is very deep. Let's see if he decides it being worth chasing. He does. So he goes for it. Cancels his run. And Primal Beast dies. Super sweet. Immediately back to the lane. Immediately back to the creeps. The direction is clear as soon as this guy dies. And you take every single camp along the way. This is beautiful to see as well. So many low MMR players stick around on the mid lane. They're thinking, okay, what can I do next? Can I play with teammates even more because this just worked? He knows my job is to get big. So big we shall be. Pressuring the lane. Okay, cool. We have to slow this down. Let's see what happens. Ulti is used. Quap ulti used and now he TPs. So the secret here is not to fight immediately with your team. He lets 2 supporters die and a queen use all of her spells before he even thinks about getting involved here. And now since everybody is low, this is a perfect picture where you want to play as an anti-mage. This is where you join. The kills are easy, they're presented to you, they're guaranteed, and that's where you join and be a part of this. If BA wouldn't have died here, she would have died from anti-mage. Muerta, if she doesn't die from them, she dies from anti-mage. Beautiful. Beautiful. He has ulti. He was still thinking about using it or using another blink. And immediately, kill is set. Zack, where's my next camp? Where do I want to be? And of course now we're in the bottom area. So we don't run back all the way top. We're playing in the bottom side. We know that people are deaf. We want to force them to pay attention to us. We want to force them to show up here. So I wouldn't be surprised if he pushes this camp, maybe even the next camp, then goes to the lane and as soon as possible puts pressure on the tower. And as an anti-mage, actually, you can do this not by hitting the tower, but by cutting the creeps around the tower. Let's see what he does. Taking a camp. Taking the next camp. Going back to this camp. And now I'm going to be interested to see if he goes back to the tower. Yep, puts the pressure. Because we saw people TP mid. We see Primal, we see Muerta. Nice, nice. He leaves the catapult. Nice. And then we want to take the Ancients. Ooh. Oh, look at that. You may ask, how does this work? Like, how do good players always get like so many stacks? Well, one of the reasons why there was a possibility to get the stacks here is because they got kills here. And when you get kills, you have the time and you have the space for your supports to do something on the lane. And when you have a strong laning stage, you have also liberty to stack the camp. So, of course, this is a present that you can't control. This is a gift from the teammates. Either way, the probability of you getting stacks made is higher if you have a good early game in general. Good things, they always come together, and bad things always come together as well. Okay, that was too quick for me. I want to rewind. So he sees bottom wave. What does he know? Primal used some stuff. Primal is dead. TP is cancelled. Beautiful. Moving towards top again. Interesting choice here to TP. I guess he was like, my ulti's up, I can use it. No harm in using it. Back to the wave. Recognize the power threat switch every single time he uses blink. And this is a Manta timing 17 minutes into the game. Beautiful. Look at the net worth, 11k. Nice. And back. Immediately, he put the aggression on the top side. Like, he forced a reaction to hold this tower. He strays back. He doesn't overcommit. You see the primal. Yeah, look, people are missing. If he goes deeper here, if he goes deeper there on the tower, he's dead. So the awareness is amazing. Amazing awareness. You push until it hurts, and then you retreat. You let them deal with the pressure, and you enjoy the free space that you just made yourself. back to the camps and look at the direction. Okay, he's moving back. Interested to see. He didn't feel safe. So this tells you we can study this. We can study this really well. Usually here I would tell people to go towards the lane again, right? That you play towards the lane. But he saw the PA top and he saw Muerta top, and he's lower HP than he was before. Even though he has the Manta now, he chooses to play it safe because there's not a single hero on the map. I would have died here on the top left side. If you check Muerta, okay, Muerta is sitting on the mid, they're not making an aggressive play. But I would have given the enemy the opportunity to kill me by pushing out the top left side here again without seeing heroes on the map first. So this is why he's higher ranked than me. Perfect, wonderful, beautiful to watch. I absolutely love that. Back to the Ancients. Since we see the enemies on the top side, we're just rotating to the other side. We take the most valuable farm in the game, which are the Ancients, and then we can look what else we can do. The minute respawns, so immediately we set up, we get to the next Ancients again, and then once this camp and once this camp is taken, there's a new path of decisions that you can take. You can either take the mid lane route if you want to play active and you want to play aggressive, or you can take the bottom side if you're looking to finish your items and get your timings. And what do we see? He's looking towards mid, but he's even playing in his own jungle again. So he didn't feel safe around the mid, but he didn't want to take the Queen of Pain farm, and in hindsight, of course, this is a much better play, and the dilemma that I had with the two situations is actually not a dilemma at all. You don't have to take the risky farm or the greedy farm with the quap where you take it away. You can just choose the left jungle with an Antimage, and this shows again like the awareness of where farm can be taken without harming your team and still creating space and making the map open. Amazing. He sees the PA and immediately reacts, strays back from his camp, farms a camp that's nearby, and now we're probably observing the fight. Let's see what happens. Muerta's here. Do we blink in? Yeah, hesitant. Go on this guy. Burn his mana. Illusions to the top. He's still kiting around. And he's gone. He's like, cool, there's nothing to hard commit on. I'm out. I'm taking mid. I'm taking Ancients again. And then let's see if he moves towards bottom. Now he knows that the Primal Beast just TP'd out, so he's not bottom anymore. There's no threat. We can take the Ancients. The new minute is coming up. So we take that. And then we have the decision to do many things here. We have either the decision to go towards the creeps here again, farm the triangle right up again, or push out the bottom side. But since we have a Elder Titan here already, +1 enables a shard at minute 21. Which I keep forgetting all the time. I would have taken Ancients here. It's cool to see that he's communicating that and he's putting emphasis on the shard. I will try to copy that. And then immediately he moves towards the bottom side. Now he's close to his item and he's super strong. Like he's level 18, so he's willing to participate in things that are happening. He sees a Primal Beast that got singled out and he has the liberty to join that fight with ease because there's no backup for him here. He's taking a couple camps. Now we can pressure bottom. Or we TP top and react to a PA. That feels a little bit weird, but hey. I think he was trying to save the quap here. The decision was so quick I couldn't even comprehend what's going on here. And he gets 1 kill out of this. And it just plays in the top area. So we see him being very willing to engage in fights, and I think this is a huge strength of those kind of players. As soon as they have their power spike, they actually constantly look for opportunities to use it, and I'm definitely lazy with this. If I'm farmed like that, I'm just gonna AFK farm even more until I have my couple items, and he's like, no, I'm strong right now, I wanna be engaged in fights here. Beautiful. Taking Ancients. Moving towards the team, I would assume. He's looking there. Yeah, that PA is not dying. Does he need to help them? There's not really anything happening. There's no aggression possible down there since there are 3 people. So he's using his base here again. Just finishing the basher. Huh? Looking for aggression on the top side? Alright. Nice. So again, we see a nice decision. Since he saw 3 people bottom, just Bristol back is solo top. Ooh, that's a rough one. They reacted again with a TP. Very clean execution as well from the enemy team. And yeah, this is the first death of him. We are calculating in 370 last hits. And we're gonna beat that for a minute, but super strong early game. An incredible item timing, of course. And now with the Basher and the Battle Fury, we really have the opportunity to roll over this game. To summarize the mid game, guys, take it easy. Just get your item timings, farm, take the net worth. Getting net worth is just gonna what save you in the end as a carry player. Be patient. Don't look for weird engagements where there's like no goal. If you don't have a clear target of who you can kill, a clear objective that you want to take, don't participate in it. Especially as an Antimage player, look at your own timings. With that, next part is going to be the late game on both players. Excited for that. See ya!